since 3 minutes is only 3 minutes, and I can't go on for too long, 3 minutes is good for a song.
It's true.
So we're going to do that. I was saddened to find out that you lost Kevin and that you lost Delia. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and Tom as well. You guys are the better people, and you guys have integrity, and yeah. So this song's about Dan Crisafulli, and I guess we'll title it "Liar." As you see, I have a Dan is a liar tagged on my guitar.
Welcome to Social Justice Water Pipe. Social Justice Water Pipe.
We're live in Summit. Yesterday was the election, and the results are in. The voters casted their votes at the ballot box, and Dan Crisafulli, Democratic candidate, who filed a false police report on me for asking questions about his candidacy, won. He won. So that's unfortunate. But we must accept the results of elections. And this is the time to hold people accountable, is at the ballot box. So the voters have spoken, and all three Democratic candidates were victorious. Jacqueline beat Delia, Dan beat Kevin, and Chantel beat Tom. And I would propose that national level politics was leveraged by the Democrats here in Summit. Rather than focusing on the community, they did a lot of persuading people's emotions and their hatred toward our current president. And it worked. It's a shame. I think party politics needs to be dissolved on a local level. Communities really need to focus on their own community and not try to leverage these national issues and stuff. So across the board, it was a Democratic sweep, and the voters did not hold Dan accountable for creating a fictitious political atmosphere where he was able to position himself as a victim. And ultimately, the voters of Summit decided to vote Democrat across the board. It was very close in the case of Delia versus Jacqueline. I think it was 121 votes that separated the two. So it's if 61 people who had voted for Jacqueline decided to vote for Delia, she would have came out on top. It was close. It was very close. And in my personal opinion, Delia is everything that's right about an elected official. Her dedication to the community, her dedication and commitment to representing all residents, rolling up her sleeves, digging in and doing the work. That one breaks my heart the most. You know, she's done a lot for this town. I've spoken to a lot of residents, and at least the ones who will speak to me. And the whole Together for Summit team, in my opinion, really kind of saved the direction in which Summit was going into. Now, yes, this is not where I reside. But as a member of the Free Press, that's my job. To go into these different municipalities, document what's occurring, and then present my opinions on what transpires. And then that's what independent journalism is about. The legacy media, the traditional media, nobody would ever dare say such things as, you don't live in this town, But I got a lot of that over the time frame of being here in Summit. And a lot of you might be wondering, why am I wearing a robe? Because it's the only way to feel comfortable tonight. After the upsetting outcome of the election. And these council rooms all across New Jersey, these are like my living room. Some people say, oh, it's hard to get up there and get behind the podium and make statements. And I understand that, but for me, it's not. So we got 9 minutes until the start, and then we'll get on with it. Joe, my brother.
I got a question for you.
Absolutely. Come on in.
See the how you videotape?
Yeah.
We got you on TikTok right now.
You got me on TikTok?
For me and the whole world, we got you on TikTok right now. As they gonna come in soon, we got you on TikTok. And we gonna get our payback. Me and the whole time will get our payback.
Payback against me?
Yo.
Yeah.
I
love Joe. I love Joe. He's the one guy in the audience when I'm speaking who always expresses dissatisfaction. I know you're not joking.
We're not sure.
I know you're not joking. So see, he's doing his own little TikTok and he's filming me. And then this is what we should be doing. We should all be getting engaged and we should all be documenting what takes place, right? This is all part of the process. And I appreciate that. I want to say, Joe, you were my favorite speaker last meeting. You were my favorite speaker. When you got up there, you made me tear.
You're gonna have to record what I gotta say tonight. You know why? I'm so mad that the Democrats lost in Summit. I feel like this election in Summit.
You're upset that the Republicans lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
This whole thing was rigged. We got cheated.
You're upset with the outcome as well?
Yup. Are you upset with the outcome?
Very much so. Very much so.
We got cheated.
I very much am upset.
I feel like personally that people did the last minute voting, or people did that week. I feel like a lot of mail-in votes never got counted.
You know what I think was a big issue with this election here in Summit? I think that the Democrats wound up leveraging these national issues and kind of like people's hatred toward the current president. Mm-hmm. And they didn't necessarily really focus on Summit, which is really what they should have been doing.
And I feel like the one thing is the Democrats don't have a plan of what they're going to do with the homeless people.
They don't. You know why they want it to not succeed? Do you know why they want the homeless people?
My thing is, if they don't have a plan in place, and I'm going to bring it up at the council meeting tonight, I'm going to be like, what plan as Democrats? What plans, since you guys won, what plans do you guys have in place?
They don't have one.
To deal with some homeless people now.
They don't have one.
Because that was Delia. Delia was the one that we put in place.
Do you hear this? Now, Joe is a part of the homeless task force. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Joe is a dedicated community member. He got involved. He found out about the hard work that Delia was doing, and it compelled him to get involved. So Joe was also upset with the outcome. And the thing is, the Democrats don't have a plan. That's the thing.
They don't have a solid plan of what they're going to do.
In my opinion, they want to break the system.
And watch from now, when time to get in that seat. Watch from that point all the way to February comes. It's going to all fall apart.
And
they don't have a plan on what they're going to do.
He's right. He's right.
They tell the community this is what they're going to do, but they got no solid plan on what they're going to do. The Republicans understand they have a plan. They talk to each other. I talk to them. But what the Democrats have? No solid plan.
Because they want it to fall apart. They want it to crumble because that's what they kind of leverage. The more homeless people, the more poverty, the more, these issues is what they leverage because this is how they persuade voters to vote in favor of them because they claim to be the party of all of these issues, but yet they fall completely short. And exactly what you said, they don't have a plan in place.
No,
so progress starts with a plan. You have to have a plan to implement it to get results.
And I'm not gonna help them this. I'm just gonna watch them. I'm gonna keep doing what Delia did. Delia started. The Democrats, they could figure out a whole plan. Cause once this homeless thing gets out of control, we're all gonna watch.
And you know what, Joe? I would propose that we are pretty much on the same page with a lot of these issues in Summit. I know you expressed your dissatisfaction when I'm speaking, but I am in favor of the Together for Summit team.
I'm thinking to myself, the biggest thing about all these people wanting Summit is the homelessness. See, don't you hear a lot of them come up and they all express their feelings about the homelessness?
Yeah.
The Democrats never been there. I haven't seen, only guy I've seen up there was, and I only saw once, but the one who recorded you, that guy.
Dan?
Yeah, he's running for council. I only saw him once at a council meeting.
I agree. That night on September 3rd, when he went to file the false police report, just because I asked him if he would answer questions about his candidacy, that's the first time I saw him. I had never seen him before.
I haven't seen no other council. I haven't seen no Democrat council person who's running at a council meeting.
I agree. And Chantel, she'll go on Facebook and she'll give a council relay of what took place. And I'm like, you weren't even at the meeting.
Yeah,
like,
meaning, how are you guys going to know what plans to go to the company? What's going on? What?
I agree.
You need a plan. You need to know. You need to hear this. You need to see. You need to know everything. You need to go to a council meeting.
You are 100% correct, Joe. 100% correct.
We're not going to a council meeting day in, day out, and watching this slog. Just going home, worrying about everything else, going around house to house. Not once has the Democrats come to my house, knocked on my door.
You hear that? Do you guys hear that? Not once.
Not once. Every Republican knocked on my door. Republican knocked on my door, but not once has the Democrat knocked on my door.
Do you guys hear what he's saying? This is what I've witnessed. This is what I can see.
And I talked to other people in the town. They said Democrats were so focused on going to other towns, talking about what they're going to do, but instead of focusing on their own town and worry about what they're going to do.
Their only focus is strengthening the Democratic Party on a state level and on a national level. They are not focusing on Summit. That's why party politics should be dissolved in municipalities across New Jersey, and Summit is a great example of that. All they did was leverage the national hatred toward the president, and what they're really trying to do is they're just trying to help their own party for the state and for the country. And they're not focused on Summit, and that's an issue. That's a huge problem.
And that's why in 2020, next year, when it comes time to for us to run for council, I'm putting my name on that ballot to run for council.
Good man, Joe.
I'm going to make a change in the town. If Democrats can't do it, somebody got to do it.
You should. You know, I just decided that I'm going to run for my local election next year as well. I'm tired of not being able to create lasting change from outside the scope. Yeah, it needs to be done from within.
I feel like we all have a voice.
We all do. And that is why I created my channel. My channel is primarily to compel other people to take part and empower them to have their own voice and speak out on the issues that are near and dear to their heart. Yeah. So that's my main focus with what I do. And then when it comes time for me to run, I will use my YouTube and my audience. Right now, I have 3,500 subscribers. I will use that as the platform to expand my message, to try to get in on a council and try to create change like that. But I want to say, Joe, last meeting when you spoke, you made me tear up because you spoke so eloquently, you spoke so passionately, and you addressed all the important things surrounding the situation with the homeless. And you are a good man, Joe.
Something a Democrat can't do. Something a Democrat can't do.
I agree. It's about to start. So yeah, so get in there. I'm gonna go get myself situated, and I'll see you there in a minute.
I see you.
Always appreciate talking to you, Joe. You're a good man.
At this time, would anyone from the public like to make a comment on anything that wasn't on the agenda? I would ask if you come up, state your name, your address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Give other people an opportunity to speak as well.
Good evening, Council President, Mayor.
Good evening.
since 3 minutes is only 3 minutes, and I can't go on for too long, 3 minutes is good for a song.
It's true.
So we're going to do that. I was saddened to find out that you lost Kevin and that you lost Delia. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and Tom as well. You guys are the better people, and you guys have integrity, and yeah. So this song's about Dan Crisafulli, and I guess we'll title it "Liar." As you see, I have a Dan is a liar tagged on my guitar. And I really have almost no business trying to play this song because I wrote it today. I had a different song written that I made up a couple days ago, anticipating a different outcome. And unfortunately, it left me scrambling while I was working today to jot down some lyrics and just come up with a different tune. So I'll go for it. When I was speaking at the meeting, he was bitching and just freaking, berating the chief because he did not stop my speech. He had already ran from questions, then ran straight to the detectives when people wanted to get information before the election. At the ballot box, Summit should have gave him the boot.
His tall tale fell and the truth took root. Dan's campaign should have died at the moment that he lied. The voters should have said, no way, it's time to go.
At the ballot box, Summit should have said no way. Dan had hoped he would acquire more votes, but he was a liar.
And I came to congratulate Kevin on the win.
Dan had added a false component, tried to tie me to his opponent. I hope he never forgets the moment that he lied. Hoping to acquire some more votes, he manufactured a complete hoax. That type of coward should never seek elected power. Fucking liar. Thank you.
Thank you for your song.
I love going to these towns that I don't live or work in because you can't touch me in that town. There is no political retaliation if you don't live or work in the town. You know? And in your town, make sure you've tamed your police. Make sure they know who you are. You know? Make sure your elected officials know who you are. You know? And everything in life should be evolving, right? As I stated before, I didn't start this YouTube channel for any sort of monetary gain. I've been operating at a financial loss since day one. I've been doing this since 2017. I've been involved in work that went national in Edison. Actually, even Germany reported on it. The UK reported on it. Because when they banned the American flag in Edison, it became huge news. And they did that specifically because of me. They didn't want people holding props. You know? And then I decided I'd start the channel after that. It became apparent that I need to be documenting these things because when you're unconventional and you get involved, you can really shake things up. So my plan to evolve from what I'm doing is not to continue to, you know, making videos of going to towns and everything like that. For the time being, I will continue to do that. But my plan is for next year, for election time, this time next year, from 1 year from now, I'm going to attempt to get on my own town council. That's the plan, right? And I don't have the resources that like the Democratic machine does in New Jersey, right? So I have to create my own resource. I have to create my own way of being able to get my message out. So I will be using my YouTube channel to help run for my town council. That's the direction I'm going in. And I don't want money. I want change. I have a full-time job. I've had a full-time job my whole life. Change is what I'm looking for. And it's come to the realization that the only way to really make and create lasting change is to do it from within. People like me, people like Huntington, people like Rami, Randall, Dave, all you guys. We're the people who are supposed to be in positions like this. People like us. Not these people that seek out like a career in politics. You know? And some of these local people that get into it just to, advance, to get to like state level politics and, shit like that. Yeah, it's become so compromised. You become so compromised by the system. So when I run next year for my town council, I will have to do it as an independent. Neither political party would never put me on their ticket. I understand that. And it's going to be difficult to try to win as an independent. And there ain't no amount of shaming that people could try to do that'll penetrate. Because when you know what you're doing and you're authentic, haters don't penetrate. And when I go into towns, people, they smear me when I get involved and they try to attack my reputation and my credibility. And it's all fine. I'm fine with that. I'm more than cut out to deal with shit like that, right? I've dealt with worse, much better people in my life. There ain't no holding me down when it comes to that shit. There just isn't. So I will keep doing what I'm doing. I will keep being myself. I will keep being unconventional. And then when it comes time for them to do these hit pieces on me and everything like that, they'll have more than enough ammo. They already do. I'm a dude who dressed up in a Bond costume, went to meetings for the entire year of 2019, singing songs. And there's plenty of stuff that people could try to spin and say, oh, this guy's a troublemaker. He's a agitator. He's a disruptor. Plenty of stuff. So the more stuff that people have to try to smear you with like that, when it's actually not real dirt, it becomes very obvious to people, It's the people that are so worried about like stepping over some sort of a line, some imaginary line that they've formulated in their head that they can't do. That's not good for public service. That's not good for like human interaction. I am who I am. You get what you see. And there needs to be more people like me and like you guys in positions like this. That's what really needs to happen. You want accountability? Join your local town council and make sure they all remain accountable and do it from within. So that's the direction I'll be moving in. For the time being, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.